Today we're digging into a really simple but honestly profound idea. Some leaders make you feel like a genius, while others, well, they kind of drain the intelligence right out of the room. We're going to jump into Liz Wiseman's book Multipliers to figure out the art of making everyone around you better. So let me just ask you this straight up. Think about the last meeting you were in charge of. Did your team walk out of there buzzing with new ideas, feeling smarter? Or did you, maybe without even meaning to, just suck all the brain power out of the room? That difference, it's everything.
You know, this really brings us to a fork in the road when it comes to leadership. Every single interaction you have, it pushes you down one of two paths. One of them unlocks the absolute full potential of your team, and the other, often with the best intentions, shuts it down completely.
Okay, so first, let's talk about the problem, the diminisher. And here's the really tricky part. These people are often brilliant. They're full of ideas, they genuinely want the team to succeed. But deep down, their belief is that intelligence is this rare thing and they've got most of it. So what happens? They micromanage, they give all the answers, and they create a team that just waits to be told what to do instead of actually thinking for itself.
This is the little voice inside a diminisher's head. It sounds helpful, doesn't it? Almost like they're protecting the team. But what it's really doing is creating dependency. It kills growth and quietly tells everyone, hey, your brain isn't really needed here.
But then, of course, there's the other path, the goal. We're talking about the multiplier. This kind of leader is working from a completely different playbook. They see intelligence not as something to hoard, but as a fire you can light in absolutely everyone. They aren't trying to be the genius in the room, they're the genius maker.
So let's just put it side by side. The diminisher's whole operating system is basically, people need me to think for them. The multipliers is, you know what? People are smart, they'll figure this out. This isn't just some small tweak in management style. It's a massive shift from being the star of the show to being the director who makes everyone else shine.
So, how do multipliers actually pull this off? Well, it's not some kind of magic. It's a set of 5 very specific, very learnable skills that make up their entire playbook.
Here they are: the talent magnet, the liberator, the challenger, the debate maker, and the investor. Now these aren't just fancy sounding titles, they're 5 completely different ways of operating that unlock your team's hidden potential.
All right, so what do these actually mean? A talent magnet doesn't just hire smart people. They find and use what's uniquely brilliant about each person. A liberator creates a space where people feel totally safe to bring their best thinking, and even to fail. A challenger doesn't just hand out tasks, they lay out these huge opportunities that really stretch the team. The debate maker gets to the best decisions by encouraging real tough debate, not by just making the call themselves. And finally, the investor. They give people true ownership and hold them accountable, making sure the team gets the win.
But here's the thing, you can't just go through these 5 disciplines like a checklist. They're all powered by one single profound shift in your mindset.
A diminisher, whether they realize it or not, walks into every situation asking this question. All of their focus is on proving their own value, having the smartest take, and being seen as the expert. It's all about them.
The multiplier just flips this question completely on its head. They use their intelligence not to give answers, but to ask the really sharp questions that unlock everybody else's intelligence. Their focus is 100% outward. If you can master this one shift, that's the whole game.
Okay, this all sounds amazing in theory, right? But how do you actually start building a culture of multipliers in the real world? It doesn't matter if you're the CEO or a brand new team lead. How do you do it?
At a company-wide level, you have to be deliberate about this. It means you've got to weave these ideas into how you train your leaders. It means making intense debate and real ownership just part of your company's DNA. And, maybe most importantly, you have to judge your managers not just on what they got done, but on how they did it. Did they hit their numbers by burning out their people, or by making their people more capable?
And look, if you just want one tiny habit you can start doing tomorrow, this is it. The next time someone on your team brings you a problem, fight that urge, and it's a powerful urge, to just solve it for them. Instead, just pause, take a breath, and ask a question that puts the ball back in their court. Something like, that's a tough one. What are your initial thoughts on how we should approach this?
That single moment of holding back can change the entire dynamic. And that really brings us to the ultimate payoff here. See, good leaders add value, sure, but the great ones, the multipliers, they do something so much more powerful. They don't just add, they multiply. They create this amazing cycle where capability and intelligence just keep growing across the whole organization, building something that lasts long after they're gone.
So that leaves us with one last very practical question. It's not if you should do this, but who you're going to do it for. Just think of one person on your team right now. How are you going to show up for them today? Not as the person with all the answers, but as the leader who makes them smarter.